Hello, friends, and welcome back to Astro Insights. I am your astrologer, Melrose. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is Tuesday, March 17, 2026. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day for all of you Irish and Irish at heart. This week brings a new moon in Pisces, Mercury going direct, and the spring equinox, so it's kind of a big week. Chock-a-block full, in fact, my friends. Beginnings and endings is the theme, so do not fail to notice and acknowledge what's going out and what you see coming in. We are saying goodbye to the past in lots of little ways this year, and this week, many of us are really going to feel that. Then at the end of the week, we start saying hello again. Hello to passion and hello to sunshine. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm sorry that we weren't here on Sunday. We just had something come up on Sunday morning and we weren't able to make our video, but everything's fine. Everybody's okay. And here I am on Tuesday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, friends. The sun is in Pisces for now, and the moon started this week in Aquarius. So I want you to recall that Neptune and Saturn are both standing together at the beginning of Aries. They're still in that conjunction. Saturn has moved ahead of Neptune now, but they're still definitely within orb to be sort of under pressure together. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. The sun is in Pisces and the moon started the week in Aquarius. Pisces and Aquarius are neighbors. Both of these signs speak the language of the collective, and being ruled from Aries, the language of the collective may become a bit combative or confrontational, or at least ready to move past some defenses to capture power. That's where we are collectively, friends. Aquarius constructs systems, policies, procedures, and mindsets. And Pisces dissolves what's outdated. We're all working together right now to establish a new collective foundation of reality. And we can see very well that what it is that we want to have no more of. Okay, we can all see very well what we would like to see come to an end. And we are spending this week and this year saying bye-bye to the old bullshit. Friends, we're working together to get rid of anything that no longer represents structure or security for everyone, and I mean everyone. A couple of days ago, Sunday, Mercury retrograde in Pisces crossed paths with Mars in Pisces. Neither of these actors are very strong in their role in Pisces, so what transpired regarding our plans and routines, timing, the impulse to act may have been a little bit intense but uncertain. I know for a lot of us in the States that the weather has been ticking back and forth between extremes of heat and cold, wind, even tornadoes, and no doubt some fire hazards as well. Y'all, please stay safe out there. Turn around, don't drown if it's flooding. There's a lot of extreme weather happening at this time. Then yesterday, the moon joined Mars and Mercury in Pisces. And while the moon is in Pisces, it still is today, we're thinking about endings, especially in our personal lives. Watching what's coming out in the wash, seeing how we feel about it, it's ideal to relax and reflect at this time. Today is Tuesday, and this brings us around to St. Patrick's Day, which is more of a cultural holiday than a seasonal one, but I just want to point out that with the sun and the moon both being in Pisces, well, friends, this is a big drinking holiday in the good old USA. The abundantly watery signature of these few days tells me that there may be some overindulgence in substances, some surrendering to depressive or chaotic ways of being. And yes, there is a place and time for those things, but I invite you to remember moderation and to take care of yourselves and to look out for those around you. Excess feels good sometimes until you really do it to excess, and then it doesn't feel so good. So we're all in this together. What harms one person harms us all. So let's take it easy on ourselves so we can take it easy on others as we're rolling into springtime. Okay, it's the beginning of a new year. Let's not ruin it for ourselves with one day of partying. Not that I have anything against partying. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we have the new moon in Pisces, the final new moon of the seasonal year. And this new moon is our restart button. We have spent the last 2 weeks reflecting on our last set of wins and what could go better, choosing what we still need and discarding what's extra. If you haven't taken out the trash or delivered your donations to the thrift store, I invite you to do it before this Wednesday so it doesn't clutter up the energy of your next growth period. We've also spent the last season relatively in the dark, and many of us have been dealing with extreme cold. It's a different way of living than in the summertime. We're more limited in our activities and focused on keeping ourselves warm and safe. So with the new moon, we pause and reflect. The sun and moon are only together in Pisces for this 3-day window, Monday through Wednesday of this year. And let me say that again. With the new moon, we pause and reflect. And the sun and moon are only together in Pisces for this 3 days, this Monday through Wednesday of this year. Allow Pisces to influence you, to relax your mind, ease up on your heart, and allow your body to relax and just be. Think of Pisces as a vast body of water. The harder you work, the harder it is to stay afloat. So just float. Save your energy. Spring is literally right around the corner, and there will be plenty of time and sunshine under which to act, okay? We have other astrology tomorrow as well. Venus is squaring off with Jupiter, which is not a terrible signature, but perhaps it's a sign. Sometimes we don't feel like we're getting what we need from the ones that we have the closest to us. Sometimes they're just too involved in other things to help us. And rather than chasing that care, looking for somebody to give us the acknowledgement or the validation or the care that we need at this time, I would suggest that you plan to give it to yourself. Also, that day, the sun is at the end of Pisces, and it will have a cooperative talk with Uranus at the end of Taurus. This has to do with our work, social, and civic lives, the roles we play in the collective, and that variable availability of the things we want and need that has been bothering us for about 8 to 10 years now. Who knows? Perhaps a problem with the global supply chain can be clarified or even solved this week. One can hope. So tomorrow is a big one, and to pull it together for you, friends, endings, resetting our creative process, taking it easy, relaxing and reflecting. Also, take care of yourselves. Get that massage. Fix yourself the good tea for a change. Take a break or a nap or a trip to the park. If you have the power, I really encourage you to take a time out. Yesterday, Monday, today, Tuesday, and or tomorrow, Wednesday, and notice how things develop without your participation. Unstructured time is good for the heart and mind. You may discover something that really surprises you. Late Wednesday, the moon will move on into Aries, joining Neptune, Saturn, and Venus. And 2 days later, on Friday, March the 20th, this is just a few days from now, the sun also moves on into Aries, joining Neptune, Saturn, and Venus. Friday is the spring equinox, one of the 4 seasonal turning points of the year, when the hours of daylight are equal to the hours of no sun. And after the spring equinox, the days get longer while the nights get shorter until we reach the summer solstice. So we're really coming into the sunlight-rich part of the year. And the spring equinox also heralds Aries season. Happy birthday to my fellow Aries sun signs. First sign of the zodiac, sign of childlike naivety and forthright initiative. This is when this spring really starts to show out, friends. And nobody loves it better than me. The daffodils have been blooming. We had a hard freeze after the daffodils bloomed, so right now they look like they've given up. A lot of things bloomed and then froze and changed a little bit, but we still have a lot more flowers to bloom as well, and I'm getting really excited about it. That beautiful bright yellow color of the daffodils and the forsythia just gets me so excited. Did I mention I have a birthday coming up? In the springtime, I feel that we all have an opportunity to look at our lives from a fresh perspective. What do you feel optimistic about at this time? What do you feel determined to achieve? If you lack optimism and determination at this time. I'm sure you have your reasons, and I invite you to give it some thought, okay? What would make you feel optimistic? What will make you feel determined? Any holding on to old favorites isn't going to work for us in the long run. We are choosing all new favorites at this time, favorite ways to be, favorite people to rely on, favorite strategies and tactics for achieving success. This is Aries, friend. This is pure embodied power. We have 4 planets here, including our Sun and Venus right now. Shoots of green are pushing up through the soil. Life is undeniable, and it's asking only for room to thrive. So what is it in your life that is trying to break out and find room to thrive, find room to grow? And as if that weren't enough, this Friday, the Sun and Moon in Aries with Neptune, Saturn, and Venus, Mercury is going direct in Pisces. Is it the end of a retrograde, or is it just another beginning? You'll just have to decide that for yourselves, friends. But what I want you to notice is that beginnings and endings go together like salt and pepper. You don't find an ending without a beginning. So if you see something that you care about coming to an end, please don't despair, friend. Celebrate it. And know that there will be something new for you to put your care into as soon as you turn around and look for it. Friday night, the moon moves on into Taurus, bringing our personal life focus around to our material sense of comfort. And then on Saturday, the 21st, Mars and Jupiter make a trine from their respective water signs. Trines make things easy, and in water, maybe even a little slippery, because it's Mars, it's about the actions we're taking. And Jupiter in Cancer wants us to care about bigger things. This weekend, if you have an opportunity to volunteer or just show up for someone in an active, really present way, I encourage you to do so. When you show up and when you show that you care about something that's bigger than yourself, like your relationship with another person, you can garner support and connection that you may not have known that you needed. And this coming Sunday, the Sun makes its first conjunction to conjunction in Aries to Neptune, once again activating that dissolving but building energy of the Saturn and Neptune conjunction at the beginning of Aries. This is the place where things fall apart or get stripped down at least, and their new form, their new utility is discovered. And as the Sun passes through this gate, that utility, that new utility that is discovered, has to do with the roles that we play in our public lives. And we'll discuss that and much more on Sunday at 10 a.m. here on Astro Insights. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your patience with us for getting this video out today. And please don't forget to subscribe. We so much appreciate you showing up every week. Let us know how it's going for you. It promises to be a little bit of a bumpy week, but mostly a week where we're feeling those things that are ending, watching them shed away from us, and really beginning to step into the things that are beginning for us. I encourage you to do so, and I'll see you back here next week. Thank you so much, friends. Much love.